Hello dear friends, this is me Altaf Malik. Today I will be discussing with the topic commerce. So as you can see in the picture, this business activities has been divided into two broader uh, categories. The first one is industry and the second one is commerce. So we are not going to discuss industry part, the first part, but we will restrict ourselves to the discussion on the topic commerce. So here I will tell you that what is the meaning of commerce and how it helps business and industrial activities. So as you can see in the chart that commerce has been further divided into two part, the trade and auxiliary to trade. So let me tell you the basic thing before I discuss what is commerce all about. You would have realized that in most of the cases and most of the time, uh, whenever you see any business, the center of production and center of consumption are different. Uh, Most of the time, in exceptional cases it may be very close to the customers, but in most of the cases the center of production and center of consumption are different from each other. So due to this difference, the uh, movement of goods from center of production to the center of consumption face many problems, and the solution to these problems are commerce. So I will explain in detail. You will realize that how commerce is a facilitator in the business. It plays the role of a facilitator, and how it plays. Let's start. So the first problem, that movement of goods from center of production to the center of production is that lack of personal touch. You whenever you use any services or buy any product, you do not buy it directly from the producers. Suppose you are using Lux soap, you do not buy it from the manufacturer directly, because there is lack of personal touch. And the first problem that we are going to discuss, that commerce solve, is it remove the problem of personal touch. Of course there is no personal touch between the producer and the customers, and uh, but traders comes and solve the issue of personal touch, that even if you do not have personal touch with the producers, but still you can buy it from the product. So how this problem is resolved? So you can see that uh, trade. So trade is what? Exchange of goods and services, and it helps in removing the problem of personal touch between the producer and the customers. So now we'll move to the next issue. As we have discussed earlier, that there is a place issue, that center of production and center of consumption is very far away from each other. So who solved this problem? The problem is solved by transport. uh, I do not need to explain the transport in much detail. You already know about the transport. So the second problem, the first problem was the lack of personal touch, that was solved by the traders, and the second problem is place, problem of place, and it is being solved by transport. The next important problem or issue that is faced is the information. So sometimes the customer do not have idea about the product, that product and its various features. So the issue of information is there, and this issue is resolved by communications through various mediums. It can be through advertisement, as you can see in the extreme right side corner. of this picture, that communication and advertisement are almost same for the purpose of commerce, although they are very different from each other. When we explain them in very detail, but for the purpose of defining commerce, advertisement and communication are more or less same. So the customer have problem of information. They do not know about the product. Sometimes they do not know about the product. But sometimes they know about the product, but they do not have information about the product and its various features. So this problem is resolved through communications and advertisement. You would have seen various advertisement in the TV channel and in the newspaper explaining various features of the product. So we have dealt with problem of personal touch, the problem of place, the problem of information. Now, the next problem is the problem of time. Uh, you know, this is very general thing that whatever is produced by the producer is not immediately sold. It takes some time. So, there is a time issue that uh, the time of production and time of sale is not the same. So there is a time issue. There is a time issue that is faced by the producer. Who comes to resolve this issue? Warehousing. You create warehouses, godowns to store the finished goods so that it can be sold later in the market. And we have dealt with problem of personal touch, problem of place, problem of information, problem of time. Now, uh, the next important issue is the problem of risk, the hindrance of risk. Uh, Business is a risky thing that you may face losses, and business in itself is a risky thing, and the reward is the profit that entrepreneurs earn. So there are other risks as well. Suppose you install a machinery or plant and it caught fire. So what will happen? You will lose all your capital. In that scenario, the insurance come and assure you that you get your machinery or plant registered with ourselves, and we will provide you all the losses, or we will compensate you for the losses. Similar is the case with the goods. Suppose some goods has been produced, the ground may caught fire. In that case, the entire product will be lost. In that scenario, also, the insurer come and says that you insure these products in case it got fired, or if any loss happens, we will take the full responsibility and compensate you for that. During transport, something happened. In that case as well, the insurer comes and says that you insure your product during transportation. If anything happens, we will compensate you for that. The next important thing and the most important thing is the finance. All these activity cannot be carried out without finance. So the problem of finance is always faced by the entrepreneurs or businessmen. So banking and finance come and resolve this issue. And you all know that without finance or money we cannot do anything. Business activities cannot be carried out because finance are called the lifeblood of any organization. So as we have seen that commerce is about removing the hindrances from movement of product from center of consumption to the center of productions. So it is a facilitator. It facilitates the movement of goods from or services from producers to the customers. And as I have told you earlier that there are a lot of problems faced by the producer and customers, and the commerce comes and resolve this issue so that the business activities can be carried out easily. So once again, I would conclude by saying that commerce is about removing the hindrances that are involved in carrying out business activities, or to be precise, the problem uh, that is resolved by commerce is the hindrances that comes in the way of movement of goods and services. So thank you, dear students, thank you very much.